You ever feel like you're trying to swim upstream in the river of life? I've been there, trying to fight against every current until I realized, why not ride these waves instead? Today, we're going to talk about embracing change, the ebb and flow of life, and how to dance with the tides instead of struggling against them. Let's dive in and ride these waves. Hi, I'm Davia, and here we focus on a healthy mind, body, and spirit. So if that's something that you're interested in, click the subscribe button, the like button, and the bell for notifications every time I post a video. Think of life like the ocean. Sometimes calm, sometimes stormy. The key is learning how to sail in both. How can you navigate the waves of life? You have to move with it and go with it. Ride the waves. If you try to fight against the waves, you might drown. Spoiler alert from the universe, change is the only constant in our lives. It's like the plot twists in every TV show that we never see coming. Personally, I've noticed that every time I try to fight against change and control the outcome to get the outcome that I want, I end up making it worse and getting worse of an outcome than I probably would have gotten anyways. For example, before I moved out here to LA, I was trying to find a job. I was applying to all kinds of different jobs, even though none of them seemed to suit me. Friends and family would send me jobs, and I would look through the description and think, oh, this is just not what I want to do. Like, this is not how I see myself spending my time. And I really struggled to feel security in a job before moving here. Some people were suggesting that I not move until I find a job, but I already set my hard deadline of when I was going to move. So what did I do? I decided to stop fighting against the current and to just ride the wave of change. The change was that I wasn't going to be secure in the job that I was currently doing. And I also was not going to be able to control the outcome of what happened when I got to LA. I rode that wave of change and just decided to go with the flow, which we talked about in the last video. And I moved without securing a job. What this did was open up so many doors of opportunity that I never would have saw coming if I had settled for a job that I didn't really want and settled for a pay that I didn't want and that wouldn't be able to support me. What ended up happening was I got a job that I never would have seen coming and a salary attached to it that I also was not expecting. This is my personal example. Change is super scary, but it is totally a necessity for us to grow. Did you know our brains are actually wired to resist change? It's a survival thing. You know, that voice in your head that tells you, no, don't do something different. It's dangerous. It's scary. It won't work. You should just stay where you are, where you're comfortable, where we know it works. That is the part of you that wants to keep you safe, but it is also the part of you that wants to resist change and not allow you to grow. On a spiritual level, change is the universe saying, hey, let's level up. You can only grow with change. It's also not just about going with the flow. It's about being the flow. You have to embody what it is like to flow with the ocean and ride those waves. Staying in your comfort zone does feel safe, but ultimately it limits your growth and your ability to do something better, something new. If navigating change is hard for you, there are practical ways that you can get better at navigating, such as staying grounded with mindfulness. This can look like journaling, meditating, yoga, walks in nature. Practice being open to new experiences. Do something that you've never done before. Try something that you are a little afraid of, and maintain a flexible mindset. If you stay stubborn and stuck in your ways, then the idea of change alone is going to be hard. These are some things that you can start to work on so that when life does throw you a curveball, then you'll know how to catch it. A big thing to know is that our perspective makes all the difference. Viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat will ultimately change your experience. The way you look at it, if you're looking at this change as an opportunity for growth, then you'll feel a lot better, more empowered, and ready to take on the challenge. When you view it as a threat, your body might go into fight or flight mode. You might feel a lot of stress, anxiety, and fear around the outcome because you don't know what's going to come and you're worried it could be something bad. Change the way you look at it. Know that you will always be all right. No matter what happens, it's happening for you, not to you. So changing your mindset and perspective around change will be a huge win for you. Society has its rule books, but guess what? We are the authors of our own story. You get to write your story. Breaking free from limiting beliefs is a big key step in surfing those big waves of change. When you have limiting beliefs and you tell yourself, I can't do that, I'll never be able to do that. When time comes that you actually might be put in a situation where you have to do it, if you have the limiting belief that you can't, then you won't, and you will struggle harder. If you believe that you can accomplish anything, that you trust yourself to be able to handle anything that comes at you, it won't be as scary and you'll likely have a better outcome. So, how do you do this? First, recognize when you're resisting. That's going to be a big step. Recognize when you are resisting change. You'll know this because you will feel extremely stressed, like nothing is working out for you. Take a breath, step back, and ask yourself, what is there to learn from this? What am I being taught right now? To go with the flow, first recognize when you are resisting. Your body will tell you. You'll feel tense, stressed, like nothing is working out for you, and very uneasy. What you do is step back, take a breath, and ask yourself, what lesson am I to learn from this? Life is going to be full of waves. We can keep getting knocked down over and over, or we can learn how to surf. And every surfer has fallen off their surfboard every once in a while, so it is normal that things aren't always going to be perfect. It's about finding balance, enjoying the ride, and learning from every experience. So that is how we turn the tide and ride with waves instead of fighting against them. I got this concept from my Sifu, which is my martial arts teacher, and he was talking about this for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He was telling us to ride the waves of each other, using each other's energy instead of resisting against what somebody is doing, going with the flow and the waves that's presented with their energy. And this was really helpful in jiu-jitsu instead of fighting against other people's strength, just flowing with their energy. And I realized this applies to life. This applies to change. When you resist against it, you present more challenge versus if you ride with it and flow, then things feel a lot easier and you discover something that you wouldn't have discovered if you continue to resist. So I hope this is helpful. I'd love to hear your stories and your tips on how you navigate change and how you learned how to surf. So comment them down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with somebody who you think might need it. Until next time, let's keep riding those waves and I'll see you soon.